2 years in a row now, a horse trained by Todd Pletcher and owned by Mike Rapoli won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile at 2, and at 3 won the Florida Derby en route to being the favorite for the Kentucky Derby, and they both started with the letter F. However, Forte scratched before the Derby. Let's hope that Fierceness has better luck. Another day, another Derby profile. Today's episode is on Fierceness. Let's go! First up, the stats. From 5 starts, he has won 3 of them with 1 third-place finish, and he has earned $1.7 million from those 5 races. Incredibly impressive, to say the least. Most of it coming from his 2 signature wins, the Breeders' Cup Juvenile and the Florida Derby, which also gave him 130 Kentucky Derby points. However, also smidged in there is 6 points from his third-place finish in the Holy Bull Stakes, which most people would rather forget. When it comes to running style, he is a stalker that booms or busts. A true game of roulette. When he booms, he likes resting right behind the leaders and then taking the lead in the backstretch or into the far turn. And when he leads the pack, he then proceeds to destroy the field by many lengths. But when he busts, he goes the other direction at the top of the stretch and is losing by many lengths. When it comes to strengths, it's pretty clear-cut. The Florida Derby is historically a great Kentucky Derby prep, and he won the Florida Derby by a record margin, 13.5 lengths. That is insane. And he did it as easily as you can get, with his jockey barely moving a muscle. It's about as dulcet as they come. His smallest win margin from his 3 wins was 6.25 lengths. That's not too shabby at all, considering that he's a dual Grade 1 winner. No shame in winning Grade 1 races by 1 length, but 6 lengths minimum. Now that's pretty wicked impressive, if I say so myself. And that also implies that on his best day, he's pretty much leaps and bounds ahead of any other horse. But now comes the caveat, the Achilles heel to all this. He's incredibly inconsistent. That really does boil down all of his problems. For every great performance that you see in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile or the Florida Derby, there's the Holy Bull Stakes and the Champagne Stakes. He has never been in top form for 2 straight races. He broke his maiden very impressively, but then came the Champagne Stakes where he lost by 20 lengths. He won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile very impressively, but then for his seasonal debut, even though he had the lead at the top of the stretch, he capitulated in the Holy Bull Stakes. But then he came back and won the Florida Derby. If he keeps up this metronome style, then the Kentucky Derby is going to be a bounce race, and he's going to run atrociously, unless he finally figures out how to keep that top form for 2 straight races, which so far he has yet to do. He also just folds when given any adversity. In the Champagne Stakes and the Holy Bull Stakes, things didn't 100% go his way. He was given a roughish start, getting some bumps, a little bit of traffic, but nothing too crazy. After the commotion in the first quarter of a mile, he was clear, and he even got into his stalking position. But then he just completely folded. He seems to need everything to go his way, and when that happens, you don't even need to do anything. You just sit there and enjoy the ride. But the Kentucky Derby is all about things going wrong, and I just can't expect that to be a guarantee for Fierceness. Either he's going to need to learn how to get bullied around and still run to his top-level form, or he's just going to give up. And that's not exactly a Derby favorite that I want. Now, there is a chance, of course, that he may not be the Derby favorite. The Bluegrass Stakes hasn't been run yet, and neither has the Santa Anita Derby or the Wood Memorial. So there is a chance that we'll get another Derby shot. But as of now, Fierceness is the top dog. So with all of that wishy-washiness, I will give him an A- grade. His achievements at his best are too big to just be ignored and give him a lower grade. But you don't get that S grade, because to get that S tier grade, you gotta stay that good all the time. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Derby Profile. Comment down which horses you would like to see in future episodes, and I will see you guys next time.